Welcome back, everybody. God bless you. We are starting a brand new series in 2020. I'm so excited. This series is called Shadow. The reason we picked Shadow is because I got to thinking about how we follow Jesus. And when you shadow someone, maybe you're learning the skill set, you're learning the trade. Often in the secular world, and I remember when my daughter worked at P.F. Chang's here in Temecula, she was a server and then she was a trainer. And they would schedule people that would shadow her. They would walk up to the table, hey, can I take your order? Would you like something to drink? Yeah. Would you like to see a kid's menu? And my daughter would do that and they would just shadow her. And then she would train them and they would take turns of waiting on the table and conversing with the table. And they called it shadowing. And I got to thinking about that principle in the secular world. I got to thinking about how people learn skill sets and how to be a better server in other trades, and maybe in the electrical trade, the plumbing trade. They call them apprentice, no doubt. But I thought about shadowing, and then I thought about our relationship with God. And when you shadow someone, you're very close to them. Sometimes you hear someone say, man, are you my shadow? Back off, back up. You're too close. And they're implying you're right up here and you're creating a shadow along with my shadow. And as we live for God, I understand as a pastor that we need to shadow Jesus. The Gospels, I think, he says, follow me. And this series that we're going into with lesson 1 next week is going to be an amazing series. And I really, at the outset of this, I want you to be very, very faithful. I want you to shadow these lessons. I want you to shadow our church. I want you to shadow people in our church and learn how to live for God and learn how to be victorious. Paul said in the writings, he said, follow me as I follow Christ. One version, one translation said it this way, imitate me as I imitate Christ. And I think that was Paul's way of saying, hey, why don't you shadow me? Help me wait on these tables. Help me repair this plumbing fixture. Help me install this light outside this house. You shadow me and I'll teach you the trade. Well, I'm asking you to shadow Jesus. And in order for you to shadow Jesus, you have to be close enough to him to see his shadow. So in theory, if you were shadowing Jesus and you were in the right position, in harmony with Jesus, when you look down on the ground, you should see in the Spirit 2 shadows, his shadow and your shadow. So this series is going to talk about us following Christ. And the closer we follow Christ and the more we imitate him and the more we step into his footsteps, the more powerful we become and the more we understand that living for God really isn't that hard. We're not wondering what God needs from us. What does God expect? Because we have shadowed him and we know his desires and we know his preferences. We know what he expects of an apostolic Christian. And when I live in that vein and I live in that position, then it is very easy to please God with my lifestyle, my conversation. You see, when we're shadowing God, we're hearing his voice. There's things that the Spirit doesn't say and there's some things the Spirit does say. But if I'm going to hear that, I've got to be close enough. I have to be in an area that I can shadow Jesus. And so I'm just excited that you are here and trusting us again with another set of Connect groups. And we're going to have an amazing time. And I'm going to be teaching 6 lessons. And of course, we always do the last week, the last Wednesday, the 8th Wednesday, which will be the last Wednesday in March, will be our celebration Wednesday. And we're going to have a phenomenal time. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you for being here. Let's have a great time. I look forward to seeing you Sunday. I'll be preaching. I want to worship with you. Let's come with an expectation. Of course, you have 2 options as always, 9:15 and 11:15. But both options will still touch the throne of God. So let's come, get the kids ready, and let's love one another. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you this coming Sunday.